Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Three pieces of advice. Number one, dua to Allah, because you can advise someone as much as you want. Ultimately, if the person's heart has not been opened up, then nothing's going to change. Dua, dua, dua. Number one. And we see this from Nuh alayhi salam. When the flood happened, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala drowned his son. So then he calls out to Allah. He says, my son is being drowned. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala responds to him, إِنَّهُ لَيْسَ مِنْ أَهْلِكَ إِنَّهُ عَمَلٌ غَيْرُ صَالِحٍ. He's not from your family. His actions were not good deeds. So Nuh alayhi salam perceived this child of his to be his son, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't wish for him guidance. Whilst you've got the opportunity, ask for guidance for your loved ones, for those people that you're concerned for. Dua is the first thing. The second thing is that you need to then persist using hikmah. وَادْعُ إِلَى سَبِيلِ رَبِّكَ بِالْحِكْمَةِ وَالْمَوْعِظَةِ الْحَسَنَةِ وَجَادِلْهُمْ بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. Use hikmah, use the best way of debating and dialogue. And the ulama of tafsir have also benefited us from saying here, وَجَادِلْهُمْ بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. You know, have a good strategy, basically. Have a good tactic in how you're going to give these people da'wah. Don't just go up to them and say, you're my son, you're my daughter, you should be doing this, that. It won't work like that. That's not hikmah. I mean, if there's hikmah in it, then maybe it will work. But the point is that you need to have patience, and you need to use hikmah, and you need to have a strategy and a tactic which is going to be beneficial for them. Because we want them to see what is correct from what is wrong. So dua and being persistent in things which are, good ways of speaking to them. Number three, incentives. Humans work with incentives. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after he tells us in many places of the Quran, the people of Jannah, جَزَاءً بِمَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. This is the reward for what they did. Therefore, those people who did good, they did it seeking reward. This is how humans are.
Jumped on the boat.
So, give them incentives. Remember, and connected to both of these, it's important for us to understand that Islam is a religion of fitrah. And if it is from the fitrah, everything in Islam makes sense. There's not one thing in Islam which doesn't make sense. And quite often people don't accept Islam or don't practice Islam because they think it might be a bit too difficult, or there are certain areas that they're struggling with to accept or understand. So that is a deficiency in them, not in the deficiency in the religion of Allah. So connected to these 2 points, you have to explain to them where their errors are and why we see them as going down, a very bad road, but then offer those incentives as well. Say, listen, you should be praying, because if you don't pray, shaitan will come. If you don't pray, your heart will become hard. If you don't pray, what's the purpose of your existence then? But if you do pray, you could get some good things. And I, as your parent, don't even mind taking you out for a treat or whatever. So these are the three pieces of that. And the fourth one is the environment. As a parent, she needs to control the environment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, قُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَهْلِيكُمْ نَارًا. And from the ulama of tafsir, they have basically said, you need to teach them good adab, and you need to make sure that you teach them ilm. Basically, you need to control the environment that they're in. So if they've got bad influences, you need to remove those bad influences. But how? Points 1, 2 and 3, with dua, with explaining the hikmah, with offering a substitute and incentives. It's very important, because sometimes you find a parent talking to them nicely, second time they'll talk to them nicely, and third time they'll talk with the stick. Get up, my son, it's time for Fajr. He wakes up, good. Second day, get up my son, it's time for Fajr. Good. Now he's in the habit of it. Quite often they'll start shouting at him, get up, time for Fajr. What are you doing? Why are you sleeping? What happened to the first time? Go back to how it was then. So my point here is, all four of these pieces of advice, they come together. They are all united. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He grants us all tawfiq and success and keeps us all upon the sirat al-mustaqim, and He makes us as keys for goodness and those keys that lock out shar. Wallahu a'lam.